We're back. The best of food and wine with Anthony Gismondi and Kasey Wilson, live from the Wines of Canada stage at the 2017 Vancouver International Wine Festival. Now, here's Tony and Kasey.
I didn't know that I was starving till I tasted you.
Wow, I love that. Well, we have stumbling winemakers here. Welcome back to the best of food and wine. I'm Tony Gismondi. She's Kasey Wilson, and our guest is Michael Bartier. He's the winemaker and co-owner of Bartier Brothers. Michael, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Kasey. Great to have you.
Great to see you.
You're out in the crazy theme country region there. Is it nuts out there?
It's busy, and we're right at the entrance. So they flood in the door, and holy smokes, what a crowd!
It's like a gang rush at 7, eh?
It's awesome, though. That is so flattering, to be part of that country.
Yeah,
they're part of the theme country.
Yeah, it's been good, eh? So many people in the room.
You know what's interesting about being part of the theme country, and this doesn't really, unfortunately, doesn't benefit me at all, but but you know what? I came over here and tasted I've learned everything about Nova Scotia that I've ever needed to know.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable.
It is.
Yeah, they got it going on down there.
I am so impressed that they sent fully a third of their wine industry out here.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can send some of ours down there for a tasting once in a while.
Sign me up.
You're ready to go. I can see that. We don't have a lot of time, Michael, so we always start with the wines. First of all, maybe quickly, Bartier Brothers, where are you and how do people get there and where are you situated and what's the game plan at Bartier?
Okay, well, my brother and I, Don and I, we have our little winery on Black Sage Road between Oliver and Osoyoos. We're farming our grapes on the gravel, in the gravel.
Yeah. You're not on the Black Sage bench, you're in the middle bench, or the?
I think there's a semantics. I'm not quite sure that there really is a bench at Black Sage.
Okay.
But I refer to it as the gravel bar because we're sitting on this old cataclysmic floodplain of rocks.
Yeah.
And you're left over from the last ice age.
And rocks are good for wine.
It's all about the minerality.
Yeah, totally. And there's a ton of minerality in this first wine, which is the 2015 Chardonnay.
Yes.
Everybody, there's a lot of Chardonnay made in the world. And you're making one. You have a game plan, or what is your strategy with Chardonnay?
Okay, well, to begin with, I have to admonish you for referring to this wine as just another Chardonnay. As another Chardonnay.
I did not say that. Oh, I said you're making another Chardonnay.
This is not about the Chardonnay. On the label it says Bartier Brothers, Cerquera Vineyard, British Columbia, Okanagan Valley Chardonnay. 2015, but the least important phrase on that label is Chardonnay. This is about the vineyard. This is about the place. This is about the gravel bar.
Good, I love that gravel bar.
Well, I don't like being admonished, though.
No, you don't.
But I deserve it.
Off to the corner with you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's a simple thing, but a wine comes from a place, and a wine should express where it comes from. I think that's maybe the philosophy of
you know what,
the best winemakers.
Yeah. Chardonnay, if we were just to market this wine, make this wine and call it Chardonnay and say that the point of differentiation on this wine is the fact that it's Chardonnay, really we've reduced it to a category which is enormous, and it really doesn't do it justice to what it actually is.
Right.
It comes from a place which is
very special.
Has a whole bunch of variables that don't exist anywhere else in the world.
Yep.
We're always talking about what's so important about wine. What isn't important about wine?
What's not, well, you know what, my title, it actually says on my badge here, it says that I'm the winemaker.
Yeah.
And I'm uncomfortable with that title.
Yeah.
Because it's not about things that you do to make a wine. You don't make a wine, you grow a wine. Mm-hmm. And what's not important about winemaking is actually the winemaking. Once the hard in place, as far as I'm concerned, it's done. It's not. It's about
important not to mess it up.
Yeah. A winemaker's job is just to not screw up all of the hard work that happened in the farming during that vintage, and all of the care and consideration that went into planting that vineyard, in the correct spot.
And people work so hard in vineyards.
Oh, God.
I feel they don't really get the credit for it.
Get me going on that subject. Yeah,
yes.
Our vineyard workers are the most important people in the world, I think.
Yes, they are.
So this, it's a delicious Chardonnay, by the way. We know that. It's kind of a hands-off deal. Really, you can, from the moment you taste it, it smells like anything but a Chardonnay. It smells like the place. I think, when you're out there and you get a whiff of that air on a fresh morning, or you're walking through the vineyard, really a lot of those scents in the South Okanagan, if you can get them in the wine, you're winning.
I'm glad to hear this. You say that. That wine is supposed to evoke. It's supposed to take you back or take you to a place, and that's what these do. Good wines, they transport you to where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
But it's different from the normal style. So it takes like when people come into your winery, maybe, I don't know, they're expecting to drink a California Chardonnay or some big sort of oaky Chardonnay, and what happens when they have this? Do they go, wow, what is that? Or
well, this wine, was partially made in oak barrels.
Yeah.
But I buy my oak barrels not for what they taste like. I buy my oak barrels for what they don't taste like.
No.
I really don't like the flavor of oak.
No.
But what barrels do for a wine, to elevate a wine, to act as a membrane between the wine and the atmosphere, they're very
magical.
important. It is magical. So it's not a California Chardonnay. That's for this is a British Columbia Chardonnay,
Right.
and it should be pure and pristine and fresh and refreshing and vibrant and alive. All of the lexicon, all of the words that you can use to describe our beautiful Okanagan Valley.
Energy. Michael Bartier is the winemaker, Bartier Brothers. He's our guest in this segment of the show. Michael, by the way, can we buy this Chardonnay, and what would it cost us, and where would we get it?
You can get this wine.
This will be good.
You can get this wine at www.bartierbros.com. There's and quite a few very good restaurants in downtown Vancouver, and a few private wine stores. If you can't find it at your local wine store, slam your fist on the table and demand to know
where
why
is
not.
it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. You brought one of my favorite wines from the Okanagan. I've been waiting for a great Cabernet Franc. You seem to have nailed it almost out of the gate. What's the deal with Cabernet Franc, and how have you managed to do such a...
And put a screw cap on it.
Oh, well, of course we put a screw cap on it. It's a superior closure. And Cabernet, thanks for bringing it up. Cabernet Franc is a joy for me. The Cabernet Franc is such a perfectly suited grape variety to the South Okanagan. It's perfectly suited to our rocks, and it's perfectly suited to our climate. It loves heat. It loves our short, compact, compressed growing season, and it's the purity of the fruit on it is beautiful. And
when did you start to like Cab Franc? I mean, because you just started hearing about it in, say, the last 7 or 8 years.
No. The first vintage that I started working with Cab Franc was 95.
Really?
1995, and I've loved it ever since. The neat thing about Cabernet Franc, another important thing about Cabernet Franc in the Okanagan, is it's so perfectly suited to our climate, not just to grow, but to actually survive.
Yes.
It's hardy, and anywhere else in the world, Cabernet Franc will ripen. 2 weeks behind Cabernet Sauvignon, but here in the Okanagan, in the Okanagan Valley, it ripens 2 weeks ahead of Cabernet Sauvignon because it's well adapted to our climate.
Yeah. Michael, both of these wines, they're really brilliant wines, and they're wines that are not messed around very much with, very pure. And you have a rather unusual, beautiful logo that I think speaks to that philosophy as well on the bottle. A lot of people probably don't know what it is or what it...
The mathematician.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, actually, it started out with my math fetish. I'm a closet math freak.
Yeah.
Talking about fractal designs in nature, but it led me to notice that our prickly pear cactus, which is a native plant, which is beautiful, it's pristine, it's delicate, and it's also incredibly resilient and sometimes very nasty. But I think that the prickly pear cactus, especially when it's in bloom, is such a fantastic symbol of our growing condition in the Okanagan. And if we're going to take out imagery to the world to show, if we have to show our wines without somebody having tasted it, somebody looking at it on a wine shelf, say in London or in New York, this is a very good symbol of our growing condition in the Okanagan Valley.
Very cool.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of time, Michael, but you have a third bottle here.
Yes, I'm very intrigued by
We
it.
had a rather extraordinary experience in Italy, and you've shown up with this bottle.
Okay, so what you're referring to is us tasting a Pinot Gris rosé near Val del Biadene
Yes.
in northern
Italy, yeah.
And what really struck us was the fact that they had added a little bit of Pinot Noir to color up this beautiful Pinot Gris wine. And it was a fantastic rosé to look at. It was beautiful, and it tasted just sublime. And we noticed this, and immediately when I got back from Italy.
And can I just cut in? And they were famous for Pinot Gris, so if you were going to make a rosé, I'm thinking, well, make a rosé from Pinot Gris because it's kind of what you are. But you can't make a rosé from Pinot Gris, but you can if you color it.
Yes.
So now, Michael, you've come home and made.
Well, I had some Cabernet Franc sitting on the skin still when we got back into Canada. We had a tank of Chardonnay and Gewürztraminer, almost 50-50, which was beautiful, fresh and lively, and still fermenting. I'm not kidding you. We shoveled the skins, up on top of this tank, and let them sit for a few more weeks to get this color. And I'd like to know what you think.
It's brilliant. No, but it is.
I'm not going to argue with you.
I mean, the color is perfect. The flavor is unbelievable. You're going to sell every bottle of this before June 1st.
I hope so.
And I don't know. What are you going to charge for it?
You know what? It'll be up in the teens. It'll be like $16, $17, $18.
Great for you.
Yeah,
have you got a name for it yet? That's going to be crucial.
Yes, it's going to be. We've thought a lot. We've taken this to focus groups. We're going to call it Bartier Bros Rosé.
Don't do that. Maybe it can be a prickly pear rosé or something. I don't know. PPR or something. It's really nice.
No,
boy,
I appreciate that.
You like it. You got to be happy with it.
This is the style of wine that I drink. I drink this style of wine by the gallon.
Yes.
And I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Michael, you're open for visitors. I know that. People can drop by. Are you open now, or do you have a season?
Yeah, we're open on the weekends right now, and I hope that people do drop by. We're on the Black Sage Road, and we'll be open 7 days a week in a couple more weeks, actually. So
small. It's a really small winery experience. A great thing for people to go. It's almost a hands-on experience, and who knows, you might even meet Michael Bartier.
Well, I wouldn't want to wish that on anybody. But
the least important guy at the winery.
Yeah, the least important guy.
Well,
the winemaker.
Everybody is important there. We're all the winemaker in the sense that everybody does what has to be done. This is a team effort.
Thanks, Michael. Get back to work. You got 3,200 people out there waiting to meet you.
I'm off to the bar. I'm going for a beer.
Sounds good.
You're listening to the Best of Food and Wine. That was Michael Bartier. He's a co-owner of Bartier Brothers Wines in the South Okanagan. You're listening to the Best of Food and Wine. We're live tonight from the floor of the Vancouver International Wine Festival. It's the 39th festival. Kasey just turned 39.
That's
and,
right.
I've been to all 39. We'll take a quick break and be right back.